Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome to us all to this episode of the Golden Words series. Inshallah, I hope it's been educative so far. That has been the goal for us to learn a lot more vocabularies, a lot more traditional Arabic, pure Arabic through poetry. And I wish you would be trying your best to memorize some of these abiyat, some of these verses of poems. Inshallah, today's episode is going to be on wisdom. The subject is going to be wisdom. So we pick random abiyat, verses of poems that talks about wisdom directly or is just a wise saying. Okay. So the first one is I couldn't lay hands on the author, but then we will go straight to it. It says, إذا ما أردت النطق فانطق بحكمة. Whenever you want to speak, إذا ما أردت, whenever you want to, النطق, to speak, to say something, whenever you want to pronounce something, فانطق, انطق, I speak, بحكمة, with wisdom. وزن قبل نطق ما تقول وقومي, and measure, zin, قبل نطق, before speaking, before pronouncing whatever, measure what you are going to say. وزن قبل نطق ما تقول, what you are going to say, measure it before you say it. وقومي, and make sure it is upright, it is straight. And he says, فمن لم يزن ما قال, whoever does not measure what he said or what he says, لا عقل عنده, he does not have mind, he does not have a brain, he does not have sense. فمن لم يزن ما قال, whoever does not measure what he says, whoever does not consider what he says very well before speaking, لا عقل عنده, he does not have sense. And he says ونطق, and speaking بوزن, with measured sense. ونطق بوزن, speaking in a measured manner. كالبناء المحكم, like a very firmly established building. فإن لم تجد طرق المقال حميدة, if you do not find ways of speaking that are praiseworthy, تجمل بحسن الصمت, then decorate yourself with the beauty of silence. تجمل بحسن الصمت, then decorate yourself with the beauty of silence. تحمد, you will be praiseworthy, that action of yours will be praiseworthy. وتسلمي, and you will be safe. So what he's saying is that if you are going to speak in a measured manner. Weigh what you are going to say first before saying it. But if you do not find any nice way of saying what you want to say, you want to say something, but it appears that anyhow you say it, it will look rough, then he advises, تجمل بحسن الصمت, then decorate yourself with the beauty of silence. Be silent, don't speak at all. And he says, تحمد, that is praiseworthy. This action of yours will be praiseworthy. You'll be praised for it directly or indirectly. And he said, وَتَسْلَمِ, and you'll be more safe. Instead of speaking to raise some turmoil, cause some turmoil, be silent. That is more safe. And he says, فَكَمْ صَامِتًا, how many a silent person, يلقى المحامد دائما, who always meets something good. Al-Muhammed here means anything that is praiseworthy, bimana, anything that is good. So he says, فَكَمْ صَامِتًا, how many a silent person, يلقى المحامد, who meets good things, دائما, always. وَكَمْ ناطق, and how many a speaker, people who like to speak, talk anytime. يجني ثمار التندم, يجني, from jana, to harvest. Says how many are people who speak, yajni, harvest or cultivates, thimara, fruits of what? At-tanaddum, regret. So you find somebody always silent, the person is always safe. He doesn't have a trouble. He doesn't have any trouble. And anybody, people who like to just speak about anything, comment on anything, before you realize the person has regretted badly, has said something and has regretted so badly. So that is the first verses of poem we talk about. It's 4. You can easily memorize it, and that is a very beautiful poem that you should memorize. You can use it to advise people at any point in time. إذا ما أردت النطق فانطق بحكمة وزن قبل نطق ما تقول وقومي فمن لم يزن ما قال لا عقل عنده ونطق بوزن كالبناء المحكم فإن لم تجد طرق المقال حميدة تجمل بحسن الصمت تحمد وتسلمي فكم صامتا يلقى المحامد دائما وكم ناطق يجني ثمار التندم. This is the first one. The second one is from Abu Fira's al-Hamdani. Abu Fira's al-Hamdani is one of the finest poets. He says, رأيت, and this is just 2 verses. He says, رأيت الشيب. الشيب is gray hair. That signals for old age. And he says, رأيت الشيب. I saw gray hair. لاح, appear. فقلت أهلا. So I said, welcome. وودعت الغواية والشبابا. ودع, to bid farewell. وودعت, to bid farewell to. وودعت الغواية. الغواية is childhoodness. That childhood stupidity. You know, when you are young, you feel you are wise, but the elderly sees that is very stupid. You do certain things and it looks like, doesn't look so straight. So he says, when I saw the gray hair appear, laha, to appear, وَدَّعْتُ الْغَوَايَةَ. I said, فَقُلْتُ أَهْلا. I first said, welcome to the gray hair. Then وَدَّعْتُ الْغَوَايَةَ. I bid farewell to that childhoodness. والشبابا, and the youthful life. I bid farewell to these 2. وَمَا إِنْ شِبْتُ مِنْ كِبَرٍ. I did not get this gray hair due to old age. ولكن, but then, رأيت من الأحبة ما أشابا. I have seen or experienced from people that I love things that have caused me to grow gray hair. So he is not really old as it appears in the first bait, but then people that he has loved have showed him certain things that has caused him to grow gray hair. That is deceptions and all that. So he says, رأيت الشيب لاح فقلت أهلا وودعت الغواية والشبابا وما إن شبت من كبر ولكن رأيت من الأحبة ما أشابا. That is our second one. And the third is from Nasihuddin al-Arja'i. He says, shawir, this is about advice. He's asking you to seek counsel of others. Don't always depend on your own wisdom. So he says, shawir siwaka. Seek counsel of others. Ida nabatka naibatun. Naiba is calamity. If some calamity befalls you, shawir siwaka. Seek counsel of others. Yawm ida nabatka naibatun yawman. If a calamity befalls you someday. وَإِن كُنْتَ مِنْ أَهْلِ الْمَشُورَاتِ. Even if you are of people of counsel, people who seek counsel from. Let's say I'm a chief, so everybody comes to me to seek my advice. Even if you are such a person and calamity befalls you, seek advice from others. Why? He is giving us the reason in the second bait. He says, فَالْعَيْنُ, for the eye, تَنْظُرُ مِنْهَا مَا دَنَا وَنَأَى. For the eye, you look with it that which is close, ma'adana, that which is close, wana'a, and that which is far. You can see that which is close and that which is far. But then, wala tara nafsaha illa bimir'atin. But this eye cannot see itself except with mirror. So you, the human, you can't see yourself very well except through the mirror. So this mirror here is the siwaka, others that you seek their counsel. So he says, shawir siwaka idha nabatka naibatun yawman وإن كنت من أهل المشورات فالعين تنظر منها ما دنا ونأى ولا ترى نفسها إلا بمرآة. Okay, let's look at the fourth one. These are short ones. He says وإذا تركت أخاك تأكله الذئاب. إذا تركت, if you leave أخاك, your brother, تأكله الذئاب, for wolves to eat him. If you leave your brother for wolves to eat him up and you do not protect him, فَعَلَمْ, know, بِأَنَّكَ, that you, يا أخاه, O dear brother of his, ستستطاب, you will be found delicious. ستستطاب بمعنى you will also be eaten, but the kalima istataba means to find something delicious. I istatabtu ta'ama, I found the food to be delicious. And he says, فَعَلَمْ بِأَنَّكَ يَا أَخَاهُ, know that, O dear brother of his, you will also be eaten. Some of these animals will find you too delicious. And he says, وَيَجِيءُ دَوْرُكَ, your turn will come, daw, your turn. وَيَجِيءُ دَوْرُكَ بَعْدَهُ فِي لَحْظَةٍ, after him, the brother that you've allowed wolves to eat up, after him, your turn will also come in a moment. فِي لَحْظَةٍ, in just a moment. إِن لَمْ يَجِئْكَ الذِّئَابُ, if wolves do not come to you to eat you up, تَنْهَشُكَ الْكِلَابُ, dogs will bite you up. Dogs will keep biting you. So this dhi'ab and kilab, they are not really the focus here. He is telling, if you let one problem, let's say hunger, you let hunger kill your brother, tomorrow if hunger does not kill you, something else will kill you and it will be very bad. That is what he means, not necessarily wolves and dogs here. And he says, إن تأكل النيران, if niran is fire and nar, if fires eat غرفة منزل, if fires eat up or burn up a room in a house, فالغرفة الأخرى, the other room, سيدركها الخراب, will also be attacked by the ruins. If one room here is burning, know that the other room will also be burnt up. سيدركها الخراب, it will also be ruined. Okay. It says وإذا تركت أخاك تأكله الذئاب فاعلم بأنك يا أخاه ستستطاب ويجيء دورك بعده في لحظة إن لم يجئك الذئاب تنحشك الكلاب إن تأكل النيران غرفة المنزل فالغرفة الأخرى سيدركها الخراب. Okay. And then the last one from Ilayya Bumadi. Ilayya Bumadi is also an amazing poet. He is the one that did Lestu Adri. Amazing and a very philosophical poetry. He says here, just two abiyat. He says, إن الحياة قصيدة أبياتها أعمارنا والموت فيها قافية. Life as you see it is a poem. Qasida, like these poems you've been doing. إن الحياة قصيدة. Life is a poem. Abiyatuha is verses. The lines of the poem. Abiyatuha, A'amaruna, is our ages. Age 1, age 2, age 3. These are the abiyat of the qasida of life. These are the verses of the poem of life. And he says, Wal mautu fiha, and death in this poem is the qafiya. Qafiya, when we say qafiya, is the ending of a poem that causes the rhymes. The rhyme of a poem. Death is the rhyme. And so when a poem is ending with the same thing, let's look at the poem before this. He says, إِذَا تَرَكْتَ أَخَاكَ تَأْكُلُهُ الذِّئَابُ. Listen to the next verse. It says, فَعَلَمْ بِأَنَّكَ يَا أَخَاهُ سَتُسْتَطَابُ. You hear the bow there. And then in the next one, he says, إِن لَمْ يَجِئْكَ الذِّئَابُ تَنْحَشُكَ الْكِلَابُ فَالْغُرْفَةُ الْأُخْرَى سَيُدْرِكُهَا الْخَرَابُ. So you realize that the rhyme is the same. This is what he's saying here. Life is a poem, and our ages are the verses of this poem. And death in this poem is the rhyme line. Everybody will die. It's the same thing that comes for everybody. The rich, the poor, and everybody. And then he says in the next bait. أين القصور? Where are the castles? Plural of قصر. أين القصور الشامخات? Where are the lofty castles? وأهلها, and its owners. بعد الجميع, all of these have ruined up, have gotten to the ruins. بعد الجميع, they've all gotten into extinct. فهل لهم من باقية? Is there anything of them remaining? This is the question he's asking us. With this, we come to the end of the words of wisdom in our episode 14 of the Golden Word series. So he says, إن الحياة قصيدة أبياتها أعمارنا والموت فيها قافية أين القصور الشامخات وأهلها بعد الجميع فهل لهم من باقية. Okay, with this we come to the end of this episode. I hope we've learned a thing or two. Inshallah, till we meet again in the next episode. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ramadan Mubarak.